What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. Thank you guys for the support lately. April was absolutely crazy. May has continued that grind. So many new faces in the Discord, in the YouTube channel, so thank you guys so much for that, and just keep on rolling in. If you haven't already, come join that Discord. Love seeing that popping off. My favorite part so far lately. So thank you all again. I appreciate that, and let's get into today's video. Now today I want to go over the Guardian Games scandal, if you will, of cheesing the strike scoring playlist to get that top 10% score, which just raises it up for everybody else that's trying to do it naturally or doesn't have the fire team to kind of do some of the things that others are doing to get that like 750k, 500k. It's absolutely crazy. So I'm calling this a scandal just because I've seen it's very controversial between people that I play with. Some of them are all about doing it because it is part of the game for sure, but also it does take the fun away from people trying to do it naturally. So we have both sides of the fence that I can totally see, but I wanted to make this video to see what you guys think about it because I am torn myself. I will end up probably having to do the cheese because I do want to stay in the top 10%. Which, doing it naturally, we got about 245,000, which was about the cutoff for top 10%, and then now with all these cheeses it has been raised quite a bit, so we're in like the top 30 I think at the moment. So it's just kind of crazy that we actually did it super well, got it almost to 250,000 naturally without doing all of these different cheeses, and then it's just getting, the bar keeps getting raised every single time because people are doing it more efficiently, figuring out other cheeses and metals to just grind for and then just blow through the strike like it was a normal 1300 strike or something like that, instead of playing how the strike playlist is intended for this competitive strike scoring. So I just don't know. To me, it seems very like the Destiny community, in my opinion. We always find ways to get around different aspects of the game, but we also do like to band together, like when we were in the Infinite Forest going through all those different pathways trying to find the grave site and get that bastion or whatever came from that season there, the season of the Savior. But I just do think that with what's going on and the incentive to get a top 10 with that emblem is there should be some negative penalty for doing these cheeses. Maybe not a negative penalty, but figuring out a way for Bungie to like negate them, say for the death side of it, just like a normal Nightfall, add death tokens so you can't just infinite revive each other every 4 seconds. You'll run out eventually, so you can get a little bit of extra score from doing that, but then you risk wiping after if you happen to all die in a weird circumstance. Now, for the aspect of hitting the Lucent Hive Guardians, that is another big cheese that people are doing, is the Guardian Angel, where 2 Guardians jump off. The one that stays alive reses both of them. They get a Guardian Angel, and then they just kind of rotate in a circle, and you're getting about 2,500 to like 3,000 points every single time you res those 2 teammates, and it is super consistent. And then the other one, like I was saying, is crushing the Lucent Hive Ghost. Instead of doing that, you actually emote, finish the Lucent Hive Guardian, and then let the guy respawn by not crushing his ghost, so you can just basically repeat the smash and finishers on those Lucent Hive to get almost, when you're doing it right, it's almost like 10,000 per finisher on these Lucent Hive. So that adds up super quickly, especially if you're letting them come back consistently in a safe spot that you can do that. Now that seems like an easy fix to me as well, just giving it only points for the first time it's crushed. You don't get set points for the second time, because technically, even if it's by accident that you let the ghost go, that's still part of the mechanic of the game, and it shouldn't be rewarding players for doing something negative inside of the game, if that makes sense to you guys. Now, I know that this isn't for everybody, and this video might be up and down, like I said, like a little controversial between the community here, but I'm probably going to end up doing it just to get that top 10 because, like I said, we were there inside of the top 10%. And then now with everybody doing the cheeses, now we have to go through and either do the cheeses or figure out a better way to optimize our run and get, you know, that 300,000 without the cheeses, which seems like it's going to be kind of challenging to do. So we'll see what happens, but I am very curious to see what you guys are doing. Hopefully that everybody pushes this video around because I want to see a lot of comments and just see what the community thinks in general about doing these cheeses. Is it part of the game? Is it part of the whole experience of Destiny? Or is it kind of hurting the player base for those normal players who can only play on the weekends and get a couple runs in, so they're not going to be able to grind out getting that top 10 like normal, so it doesn't really matter. But then also you got people who play the game a lot but are playing it normal and get that top 10% because they deserve it, but then you have everybody that's cheesing and knocks them out of the top 10 via a run that really shouldn't be valid in my personal opinion. And then it takes all the players who are on the good side and not cheesing and converts them to a bad cheesing side because they also are upset by not wanting to get out of the top 10% for that emblem. So it's just kind of like a negative feedback loop for me. I don't really know how I feel about it personally, so you guys are gonna have to let me know again, like I said, down below, how you guys are feeling about it. I personally think it's definitely needs to be addressed next week and going forward. We do still have a couple weeks left of Guardian games, so there is time with the different weeks here to make up those changes. So hopefully Bungie does something about it, but I feel like changes probably won't come until next year for this. So whoever's cheesing is probably going to be that top 10 and get the emblem, and everybody else who won't do it or can't do it via not having the fire team to do the Guardian Angel side or whatever, people are just blowing through the strike and matchmaking and not worrying, just playing normal, like instead of crushing the ghost, not crushing the ghost, that sort of thing. So we'll see if Bungie responds to any of this and addresses all of these issues with patch notes, anything like that, but I do think it's probably going to be next year before we get any changes in that realm. So we'll see how the Guardian games play out this year. Definitely think the Warlocks are going to come in hot and still win this year, just because we've already had the other two classes win, so why not have the Warlocks get that little statue put out by Ikora this year instead of in the center part of the tower. So hopefully this made sense to you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoy a little like personal take from me on this. Not sure how this video will do, but definitely wanted to get my thoughts out about it just because I am very torn, and I really do think that the cheese side of it is ruining the fun of people going for it normally. But then that's just the Destiny community. There's always something to complain about. So thank you guys again for watching. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.